Alright, what is going on, everybody? This is Troger MC, and today we are doing something a little bit different. We are back at it again with the Diamond Select Marvel Select reviews. Today we are looking at Daredevil, the Special Collector Edition action figure, and we'll take a look at this massive package later. But today we are looking at this guy here. And I feel like with the recent Daredevil show, and also seeing this guy at a local toy store, or a toy shop, I don't know what you'd want to call it. Basically, it's a store that's all about toys and action figures and all that. I saw this guy here, I'm like, dude, Daredevil is a super cool character, one of my favorites from Marvel, and he's got a new show coming out, so I figure, yay, might as well talk about him. So, here he is with Marvel Select Spider-Man in a comparison that actually makes sense. Because these figures apparently came out at around the same time, because this guy's actually advertised in the back of this box, but I digress. As far as how tall Mr. Matt Murdock is, let's find out together. He is, let's say, just shy of 7.5 inches, and that doesn't include his horns, because those are basically in line with the top of his head. And so he stands at just, let's say, like 18 and a half centimeters is about how tall he is. So he looks really good. What I noticed right away is that this guy actually looks a lot like the Ben Affleck Daredevil from the 2003 movie. And I have seen that movie, and I know it has a reputation for being really bad, but me personally, there are two things that I thought that movie did right. One was the casting of Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin. I stand by the the director, might have messed up a little bit, but Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin was just phenomenal casting. Totally nailed the part, and he seemed to enjoy the character too. The other thing that I really liked about it was actually Daredevil's suit. I don't know what it was. I actually really liked the whole dark red leather look for like the entire suit. Not a big fan of there being like yellow on there or black on there, that kind of thing. I like it being just red. And obviously that's what this is. It's a few different shades of red, actually. So, he's got like some darker red for the gloves, as well as the boots, as well as his pouch and his belt. But then the other parts of it are basically, it almost looks like it's like a regular, like red color, almost like, I don't know, like a raspberry. It's almost like a raspberry type red. But then like some of it has a wash on it to add like shadows and also a little bit of shine to it. And normally that wouldn't look good for an action figure, but with this presumably being like a leather or a spandex type outfit, I think it actually makes sense. You do have the D's there for his name, and then you do get the horns as well for his name. And his eyes there, his eyes are kind of hard to see, but I think that kind of makes sense given how this guy can't actually use his eyes. Obviously the people that encounter, like the bad guys that encounter him, they don't know that. But yeah, the fact that the guy actually can't use his eyes, it doesn't really detract from me that you can't really see his eyes in this figure. But yeah, so you can kind of see him a little bit. But yeah, there you go. And as far as his head underneath, it looks pretty solid. No complaints there. You got like silver for the belt buckle. And in case you're wondering, this is part of his accessory. He does come with his staff, cane, billy club thing. But it only comes, it's really tight. He actually came in the packaging with it in his hand. So it's really hard to get out, but you can kind of see what it is. So basically it's kind of stuck like this. It's like a nunchuck. So there you go. And no, this pouch doesn't open up and you can't put it in there. It would be really cool if you could, but no, you cannot. So there you go. And then I guess we can go over the articulation. We'll go over the rest of the stuff later. So for the articulation, his head does rotate, and it does move up a very small amount, and it does move down a very small amount as well. But it is technically there. For the arms, they can go up about that far. So not the best range, but whatever. They do go all the way around, as you could probably imagine. There's no bicep cut, but there is a single joint for the elbow there, and there's no rotation. There is, however, a wrist swivel here, and then it's the same thing on this side. There's no ab crunch or anything like that, but there is a waist twist. So there you go. And then for the legs, they go out about that far, so that's pretty good. then they go forward. They don't really go just straight out, but they do kind of go out this way a little bit, so they go forward about that far and back about that far. So I feel like that's decent enough range given how this is an older figure. And then you do get a double joint for the knee. The lower leg is a little bit too long, but I'm not too bothered by that. And then as far as the other articulation, you just have a joint here for the ankle. It goes back about that far, and then it goes forward about that far. So not a whole lot of range, but I think it's okay. I am personally not too worried about it, given how much I show off this guy. This guy doesn't have a lot of articulation either. So there you go. And then as far as other stuff that he has, he does come with this. It's pretty cool, like gargoyle, or like, I don't know, not really a gargoyle, but like something you could see like this on like a church or something like that, which makes sense given his character, as well as the artwork that's over here. So you can kind of have him like posed with this. I don't really know what you would do with it, but it's cool nonetheless. It definitely looks like it's made of stone. Has like some blemishes and like some age on it. Got some cherubim up there. I think that's what they are. Then yeah, you got this massive cross. You got wings on there, so that's pretty cool. And then he does also come with this, and this is showing that this is a Marvel licensed product from Diamond Select Toys. And then there you go, it shows off some of the stuff that they have on that side, as well as on that side. You got some Marvel Select, some other stuff there, as well as some other information. And it's a lot different than what they release now, because what they release now looks like this. But I'll point it out anyway. We need a Kamala Khan Marvel Select figure. They haven't made one yet. They need to make one. I'll point it out, just like what I point out with the other ones. We need a Kamala Khan Marvel Select. They could totally do it, and I think they should. But yeah, you get a different picture here with, again, a whole bunch of characters that they haven't made into figures yet, but that's neither here nor there. If any of y'all watching this are associated with Marvel Select, please, we need a Kamala Khan figure, and we need a Squirrel Girl figure, and a Mysterio figure, and a Jubilee figure. Thank you very much. But I guess the last thing to talk about is the packaging. If you don't know, these things are only $30, and a lot of them, this is an older figure, but a lot of them now just come with a ton of accessories and that kind of thing, and really good articulation, so I think it's definitely worth it. And then, as far as the side of the package goes, get some nice artwork there of Matt Murdock crouching on top of a church or something like that. And then there's the Spider-Man figure, as well as showing off that you can get an unmasked variant of the same figure. And there's also Abomination. And then you have a picture of the figure as well as a bio. If you don't know who he is, you can go ahead and read that. And then there's some more artwork of him. And then, yeah, so there you go. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot else going on. The inside of the package is pretty cool with this artwork. And yes, by the way, this licensed product thing, this was taped inside of this little envelope thing. It was kind of weird, but whatever. So there you go. That is what we have for Daredevil. So if you enjoyed this review, or you like this figure, or you just like Daredevil in general, do be sure to leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you think about this guy. And yes, I am aware that they did make another version of this figure based off of the Netflix series, but that's not what they had in the shop, and I actually prefer this version anyway. So, but if you do have the Netflix Marvel Select figure and the massive wall that he comes with, or whatever that is, then let me know in the comments what you think, how it compares to this guy. And yeah, if you like this kind of content, then do be sure to subscribe, because I've reviewed a few Marvel Select figures, and yes, that does include this guy here, as well as a couple other ones, and I do intend to continue doing that. I just can't really find a whole lot of them as far as where I am, but that's all I have for now. So other than all of that, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.